The Mouse Who Loved Cupcakes. Once upon a time, in a bustling little town nestled between green meadows and sparkling streams, there lived a mouse named Millie. Millie was no ordinary mouse. She had a heart full of curiosity and a nose for adventure. But there was one thing that Millie loved above all else in the world: cupcakes. Cupcakes were Millie's greatest joy. She loved their soft, sweet smell, their colourful frosting, and the way each bite felt like a tiny celebration. Millie's dreams were filled with swirling sprinkles and frosting as fluffy as clouds. Every morning, she would scamper from her cosy burrow beneath the old oak tree, hoping to catch a glimpse of the bakery at the edge of town, where the air always seemed to sparkle with the scent of freshly baked cupcakes. One sunny morning, as Millie peeked out from her burrow, she noticed something wonderful. The bakery was decorated with bright balloons and a giant sign that read, "Cupcake Festival today." Excitement bubbled inside her like a fizzy soda. She could hardly believe her luck. A festival of cupcakes! Millie's whiskers twitched with anticipation, but Millie was a tiny mouse, and the bakery was filled with big people, bustling about with boxes and trays. The festival was meant for everyone in town, but Millie worried. Would someone as small as her be able to join in the fun? She had never been inside the bakery before, and she wasn't sure she belonged there. Determined not to miss out, Millie decided she needed a plan. She scampered through the grass and gathered her friends. Benny the bunny, who loved carrots almost as much as Millie loved cupcakes. Tilly the turtle, who was slow but steady and wise. And Pip the squirrel, who was always ready for an adventure. Millie shared her dream with her friends. "I wish we could taste the cupcakes at the festival," she said, her eyes shining. "But I'm not sure we're invited. What if we're too small?" Benny thumped his big feet in excitement. "We can find a way. Maybe if we work together, we can join the fun." Tilly nodded sagely. "Cupcakes are for everyone, I think. Let's make a plan." Pip chattered. "Let's get creative. We'll surprise them." The friends put their heads together and came up with a clever idea. If they couldn't go inside the bakery, maybe they could make their own cupcake stand outside. That way, they could share cupcakes with all the animals in the meadow. And maybe, just maybe, the people at the festival would notice. Millie's heart soared at the thought. They set to work right away. Benny gathered wild strawberries and sweet honey from the meadow. Tilly found soft leaves to use as plates. Pip collected acorns and nuts for decoration. Millie, with her keen nose, sniffed out a patch of wild vanilla beans hidden near the stream. Together they mixed their ingredients in a hollowed-out log, giggling as they worked. When their cupcakes were ready, they set up a tiny stand near the bakery, decorated with wildflowers and colourful ribbons. Millie carefully placed each cupcake on a leaf, sprinkled with bright berries and drizzled with honey. They called their stand the Woodland Cupcake Corner. As the festival began, Millie and her friends watched from behind their stand as people strolled by, laughing and tasting cupcakes from the bakery. Millie felt a little nervous. Would anyone notice their tiny stand? Just then, a little girl with curly hair and a red dress wandered away from the crowd. She spotted Millie's cupcake corner, her eyes growing wide with delight. She knelt down and smiled at the tiny cupcakes. "These are beautiful," she exclaimed. "Did you make them yourselves?" Millie squeaked with pride. "We did! Would you like to try one?" The girl tasted a cupcake and her face lit up. "This is delicious. I've never had a cupcake like this before." Before long, more children came over, curious about the Woodland Cupcake stand. They were enchanted by the tiny treats and the friendly animals. Soon, the grown-ups joined in, amazed at the creativity and sweetness of Millie's cupcakes. The bakery owner, Mrs. Maple, noticed the crowd around the Woodland Cupcake stand. She came outside, her apron dusted with flour, and knelt beside Millie. "These cupcakes are wonderful," Mrs. Maple said warmly. "You and your friends have made something very special. Would you like to bring your cupcakes inside and share them with everyone at the festival?" Millie's heart fluttered. She looked at her friends, who smiled with excitement. Together, they carried their cupcakes into the bakery, where everyone gathered around to taste the woodland treats. Inside the bakery, Millie felt a little nervous at first. The room was big and bustling, filled with people and bright lights. But when she saw how much everyone enjoyed her cupcakes, her worries melted away like frosting in the sun. Mrs. Maple made a special announcement. This year's Cupcake Festival winner is Millie and her woodland friends for their creativity, kindness, and delicious cupcakes. The crowd cheered, and Millie's cheeks grew rosy with happiness. She had learned something important that day. Even the smallest mouse could make a big difference if she shared her heart and worked with her friends. From that day on, Millie's woodland cupcake stand became a beloved part of every festival. People from all over town came to taste the wild strawberry cupcakes and meet the friendly animals. Millie never felt too small again, because she knew that her love for cupcakes and her friends could bring joy to everyone. And so, in the meadow beneath the old oak tree, Millie and her friends baked cupcakes, told stories, and made memories that sparkled like sprinkles on a sunny day. But Millie's adventures didn't end there. With every festival, she dreamed up new cupcake flavors: honey lavender, blueberry mint, and even caramel apple. She learned to listen to her friends' ideas, and together they discovered that the best cupcakes were the ones made with love. One autumn afternoon, as the leaves turned golden and the air grew crisp, Millie sat with her friends, thinking about their next cupcake creation. What if we made cupcakes for all the animals in the meadow? Millie wondered aloud. Different flavors for everyone. Benny's ears perked up. Carrot cupcakes for bunnies. Tilly smiled. Strawberry for turtles. Pip bounced excitedly. Acorn cupcakes for squirrels. Millie giggled. And maybe a special surprise flavor for everyone? They set out to gather ingredients from all corners of the meadow. Benny found juicy carrots. Tilly picked ripe strawberries. Pip collected acorns, and Millie discovered a patch of sweet clover. They worked late into the evening, mixing and baking, their laughter echoing through the meadow. When the cupcakes were ready, they invited all the animals to a picnic beneath the stars. The meadow was alive with joy as animals tasted the special cupcakes made just for them. The bunnies nibbled carrot cupcakes, turtles savoured strawberry treats, squirrels munched on acorn delights, and everyone marvelled at the surprise clover cupcakes. Millie watched the happiness around her, feeling proud and grateful. She realised that sharing her love of cupcakes brought everyone together, creating new friendships and memories. As the stars twinkled above, Millie whispered, "Thank you, friends. Today was the sweetest day." Her friends gathered close, and together they made a promise to always share their kindness and creativity, no matter how small or big their dreams might be. And so, in the little town between the meadows and streams, Millie the mouse and her friends became known as the Cupcake Creators, spreading joy and sweetness wherever they went. With each cupcake, Millie remembered that love, friendship, and a sprinkle of imagination could turn even the smallest mouse into the brightest star at the festival. Every season, Millie and her friends tried new flavors, finding inspiration in the world around them. In the spring, they picked cherry blossoms and mixed them with honey for a delicate cupcake that tasted like sunshine. In the summer, they used ripe blueberries and fresh mint, creating a cool treat for warm days. In the winter, they baked gingerbread cupcakes with cinnamon and cloves, perfect for cozy nights by the fire. As they explored new recipes, Millie learned to appreciate the simple joys of baking and sharing. Sometimes the cupcakes didn't turn out quite right, too sweet, too crumbly, or not enough frosting. But Millie discovered that mistakes were just another way to learn, and with each mishap, her friends were always there to help. One day, Millie tried to bake a rainbow cupcake, hoping to capture all the colours of the meadow. She mixed blue from blueberries, green from mint, yellow from honey, and red from strawberries. But when she took the cupcakes out of the oven, the colours had all mixed together into a funny shade of brown. Millie felt disappointed at first, but Benny tasted the cupcake and said, "It's delicious. It doesn't matter what colour it is. It's made with love," Tilly added. "Sometimes things don't go as planned, but that's how we find new favourites." Pip agreed. "Let's call it the Meadow Surprise." Millie smiled. and realized that the best part of baking was sharing the experience with her friends. As word of Millie's cupcakes spread, more animals came to visit the woodland cupcake stand. Birds, hedgehogs, and even a shy fox stopped by to taste the treats and join in the fun. Each new friend brought a special ingredient or idea, and Millie welcomed them all with a warm heart. One day, Millie was surprised to find the mayor of the town, Mrs. Whiskers, standing at the cupcake stand. Mrs. Whiskers was a wise old cat, respected by everyone.
"I've heard wonderful things about your cupcakes, Millie," said Mrs. Whiskers. "Would you and your friends like to bake a special batch for the upcoming harvest celebration?"
Millie's eyes lit up. The harvest celebration was the biggest event in town, where everyone gathered to share food, stories, and laughter. It was a great honor to be asked to bake cupcakes for such an important day. Millie and her friends accepted the challenge, and together they brainstormed ideas for the perfect harvest cupcake. Benny suggested pumpkin, Tilly recommended apple, Pip wanted walnuts, and Millie thought cinnamon would make everything warm and cozy. They worked together, mixing, baking, and decorating each cupcake with care. When the harvest celebration arrived, Millie and her friends set up their cupcake stand in the town square, surrounded by music, dancing, and happy faces. People and animals alike lined up to taste the harvest cupcakes, delighted by the flavors and the creative decorations. Millie watched with joy as everyone shared stories and laughter, brought together by the simple magic of cupcakes. Mrs. Whiskers announced, "Millie and her woodland friends have brought new sweetness to our town. Let us always remember that kindness, creativity, and sharing can make any celebration brighter." Millie felt proud and grateful, knowing that her love for cupcakes had helped create a happier, more connected community. As the seasons changed, Millie continued to dream up new cupcake adventures. She organized baking days where anyone could join, sharing recipes and stories from all over the meadow. She learned that everyone had something special to contribute, and that the best cupcakes were made when everyone worked together. One snowy winter day, Millie decided to host a cupcake exchange. Each friend brought their favorite flavor to share, and together they tasted cupcakes from all corners of the meadow. Benny brought carrot ginger cupcakes, Tilly made strawberry rose, Pip baked acorn maple, and Millie surprised everyone with peppermint chocolate. As they shared and laughed, Millie realized that the sweetest moments were those spent together, trying new things and learning from each other. Millie's love for cupcakes grew stronger with each passing day, but she never forgot the lesson she learned at her first festival. Even the smallest mouse can make a big difference with a kind heart and a sprinkle of creativity. And so, Millie's story became a cherished tale in the town by the meadow, inspiring everyone to dream big, work together, and always share a little sweetness with the world. And whenever someone tasted a cupcake that was a little bit different, a little bit creative, and a lot full of love, they would smile and remember the mouse who loved cupcakes, and the friends who made every day a celebration. As the years passed, Millie's cupcake stand grew into a cozy woodland bakery, filled with laughter, friendship, and the sweet scent of cupcakes. Animals and people from far and wide came to visit, eager to taste the latest creations and make new friends. Millie never stopped dreaming, baking, and sharing. She taught baking classes for young mice and bunnies, showing them how to mix, measure, and decorate with joy. She listened to their ideas, encouraging them to try new flavors and experiment with colorful sprinkles. Millie's friends helped her every step of the way. Benny organized the ingredients, Tilly taught everyone how to be patient and take their time, and Pip kept everyone laughing with his silly stories. Together, they created a place where everyone was welcome, no matter how small or big, shy or bold. The Woodland Bakery became a symbol of kindness and creativity, a reminder that the sweetest treats are those made and shared together. And so, Millie's love for cupcakes became a legacy, passed down from one generation to the next. Her story inspired young animals to dream big, work together, and spread joy wherever they went. Whenever someone felt nervous or unsure, they remembered Millie's first festival and how she found courage by sharing her love and working with her friends. They remembered that even when things didn't go as planned, kindness and creativity could turn any day into something sweet.
And in the heart of the meadow, beneath the old oak tree, Millie's bakery glowed with warmth and happiness. A place where every cupcake was a little wish come true. So if you ever find yourself in a meadow, surrounded by laughter and the scent of cupcakes, listen closely. You might just hear the giggles of Millie and her friends, baking up new adventures and spreading sweetness, one cupcake at a time. And remember, no dream is too small, no mouse is too tiny, and no cupcake is too simple to bring joy to the world. Because, as Millie learned, the sweetest adventures begin with a little imagination, a lot of heart, and a sprinkle of friendship. The end.